That's the heart-driven. I love that. And the no BS part is, look, you're not going to accomplish your goals and your dreams at the highest level that you want to if you can't dial that in.
And this all comes down to self-discipline. Professionals stick to the schedule. Amateurs let life get in the way.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of Next Level University, where we teach you how to level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode, number 876, 5 must-haves for a next level life. Last week's live podcast. Today, for episode number 877, we have a simple but profound question for you. Can you achieve great things without self-discipline? So Alan wanted to do this. I'm going to let Alan start because my story is a little bit different than his.
2 stories, and both of them will be better than Kevin's. Just joking. Just joking.
Just joking about the just joking, or just joking about the... Which part are you just joking about?
Whichever you'd prefer. First story, I'm at dinner, and I'm with a dear friend. Bianca wouldn't mind me saying this, so I'm with Bianca. And this was many moons ago. No, I think this was probably 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I do know that it was pre-COVID because we were at dinner without masks. And we were talking about the human condition, naturally, dreams, goals. She was a coach at the time. I was kind of semi-coaching her. This is before she was officially coaching. And I asked her a question because we were just always contemplating. I said, what do you believe is the rarest character trait of any human being right now in the world? What's the rarest human character trait in the world? And she thought about it, and I had my answer in mind, but I was curious to hers, and she said hope. And I said, wow, that's really depressing, but I also think there's some truth to that. And I basically said that someone not believing in their own brighter future is a lack of hope. It's called nihilism, and there is some validity to her perspective on that. She's like, what's your answer? And I said, the least character trait that I see in the world today is self-discipline. The ability to not feel like doing something and to do it anyway because you know it's what's best for you and for others. Self-discipline, I do believe, is becoming more and more and more rare, and I understand why, because technology has allowed 2-day shipping, and it's allowed convenience to really override a lot of our lives. So that's the first story. The second story, I was in book club this past Saturday, and we just finished the last 2 chapters of Atomic Habits by James Clear. And there's this story in the book where James Clear was in the gym. And I know he was a baseball player and an athlete and then a weight trainer all through college and obviously into his later years. And so he spends a lot of time in the gym, and I guess he's at this gym that's a fairly famous one. I don't know which one, but there's a trainer that comes in who is a very famous trainer and trains Olympic athletes and is known for training Olympic athletes who do win gold medals. And so James Clear naturally asks, like, what are the character traits in common? What's the difference? What makes the difference between the Olympic gold medal winners, aka being the best in the world at what they do, and everyone else? Because all athletes want to be the best they can be to a certain extent, but not everyone wins gold. So what makes the difference? What is it? And there was a bunch of things said. A lot of the things that were said, James Clear in the book talks about how he knew most of the things that were said, but there was one thing that really threw him off guard. And it was the fact that the best of the best are unreasonably obsessed with with overcoming boredom. And so there's 2 quotes in particular from the book Atomic Habits that I said in book club. The first one is, the greatest threat to success is not failure, but boredom. The second quote is, the only way to become excellent is to be endlessly fascinated by doing the same thing over and over again. And so whether it's Kevin and I on this podcast or it's going to the gym and weight training, Kevin doesn't know this, but I actually calculated this in book club. So you've been working out since you were 16 years old. And I said, okay, how many workouts would Kevin have had to have done if he's 33 and he started when he was 16? Let's imagine he averages 5 times a week in the gym. And we did the numbers. It was 4,420 something. So you've done like 4,400 workouts. And I said to everyone in book club, that's why he's in shape. Like that's the obvious reason why. Do you think he wanted to do every one of those workouts? The answer is no, of course not. But who he is someone who does work out. It's your identity. You're a bodybuilder. And there was another quote from Atomic Habits that I want to say here, and this all comes down to self-discipline. Professionals stick to the schedule. Amateurs let life get in the way. Kevin always prioritized the gym. Does Kevin have more time than you do? No. Kevin makes more time for working out and weight training than you do. And from studying all the clients and all the people that we've been around all over the world, we have a community all over the world, 120 countries we're listened to and so blessed. It's so obvious to me now that no one has self-discipline in every area. Everyone has a lot of self-discipline in usually one or two areas. But this is a holistic podcast, health, wealth, and love. We want every one of our listeners, every one of our viewers, and ourselves to be self-disciplined in all three of those arenas. So the lesson here is simple. Consistency is necessary for success, but unfortunately, consistency creates boredom. And how do you do things that get boring? Does Taylor Swift really want to sing that same song again? No, but she does. Professionals stick to the schedule. Amateurs let life get in the way. And so the goal here is self-discipline. How do you do things that you know are what's best for you, but you don't feel like doing it? How often are you letting yourself off the hook? That's what today is about, self-discipline.
I think discipline and temptation, I told Alan this, discipline and temptation are they go hand in hand. If you're tempted to do something that you believe is good for right now, but it's not right forever, you have to fight that temptation. And that's hard. It is challenging. Again, so this is going to be a very heart-driven but no BS approach from me just because this one fires me up. Alan and I, somebody reached out to us and said, hey, you should have this person on the podcast. And this person's a YouTuber, and Alan and I said, all right, let's do some research. Because we always want to research anybody before we have them on. We value the time that you are investing in yourself with us, so we want to make sure that we can deliver as much value as possible. That is our goal. And we did research on this person, and one of the videos was, discipline doesn't work. Here's why. And Alan and I watched it in the studio together, and I'll say this. The video wasn't as bad as I thought. It was a title that was going to get clicks, and that's fine. I understand how that works. But the premise of this video was, look, if you're relying purely on discipline, you're in trouble. Now, I do agree to some degree. You have to make sure your environment's set up, and you have to make sure that your community is set up, and you have to lower the bar of the barrier of entry. Yes, there's a lot of things you can do here. But at the end of the day, okay, the reason most of us are not in the shape we want to be is not because we don't know how to be. Myself included, particularly myself. Let me talk about me. I'll talk about me. I'm fine with doing that. I know how to hit a certain weight on a certain date if I desire. The problem is I have not been disciplined enough. I've been doing this lately. I have been dealing with temptation. These are York peppermint patties, and they're really good. They're really good. Now, I was on a podcast today, and we were talking about the importance of taking ownership. And I think this is where the disconnect is. It's very easy for somebody to say, look, discipline doesn't work when they don't feel like they've been as disciplined as they could be. I'll never forget this. And again, this is hardcore, and this is part of my past, and this is something I did, but I'll never forget, it was the 4th of July, and my girlfriend at the time and I were staying with her family in this multi-million-dollar house way down in Cape Cod. And it was the 4th of July. It was beautiful out. We were at the beach, and I was doing a bodybuilding show. And my show was in September. So my show was 2 months away. And we go down to the beach, and there's s'mores, and I'm hammering s'mores, and I had a couple handfuls of M&Ms. And when we went back to the house, I texted my coach, and I said, hey, I jeffed. I had a bunch of cheat meals I know I shouldn't have had. That's my bad. And he said, Kev, if you weren't you and I didn't see a lot of potential in you and like you, I would fire you as a client right now and give you your money back. because the level of discipline you have to have in order to win a bodybuilding show is tremendous. It's huge. The level of discipline you have to have in a relationship is huge. You have to have the conversations that you don't have temptations to have. The level of discipline in growing a business, when it's you wake up and you don't want to make calls to prospects, or you don't want to have difficult conversations with clients, that requires discipline. And I think it's a disservice if you think that, and I'm not saying you do if you're watching or listening, but it's a disservice if you're listening to people who are saying, look, there is no discipline required. Discipline doesn't work. No. That's not true. Maybe you don't have the right amount of why power. Maybe you don't have the right approach or technique. But at the end of the day, discipline is you saying, this is what should get done. This is what's best for my long term. I am going to choose long term over right now. Very difficult, I know, but it's one of those things that we can lie about it and say it's not necessary, but why don't we just figure out how to create our own version of it? To create our own habits, to create our own environment, to create our own routine that'll help us be as disciplined as we can be.
Hello, this is Dr. Tarryn MacCarthy, and we are well into 2022. And maybe you are not willing to have a repeat of the last 2 years. Or perhaps you've had an inkling for quite some time that you are destined for something greater than what you're experiencing in your reality right now. Maybe it's your business or your work, and you know that there's greater value and impact that you can have in your community. Or maybe it's love and connection that's been eluding you. Or perhaps it's your health and wellness, and you know that you can feel better, do better than this. Well, join us at Next Level Live, March 26th, a full day immersion with experts in their fields to help guide you on how to bring your life to the next level. Looking forward to seeing you there.
You can't solve a problem if you have the wrong root cause. So if you are out there and you want to be in better shape, or you want to save more money or invest more money, or you want to be in a better spot in your intimate relationship, if you have the root cause of I don't have the time, or work is stressful, or I don't like my boss, see, those aren't the root causes. Those might be true, but the real root cause of why you aren't where you want to be, in large part, is self-discipline. And I think that's actually empowering. I know that, and I'll give you an example. So Emilia and I were in the kitchen earlier before this episode, and I was making coffee. And I told her that Emilia and I fast every day. So we do intermittent fasting. So 18 hours a day, every single day, if not 20, honestly. Yeah, it's more like 20. We do well, it's not 20 because I'm sleeping. Okay, there's a 24-hour day, and we sleep 8, and obviously we're not eating while we're sleeping. So we fast 20 hours, and then we eat within a 4-hour window. I do a pre-workout meal before the gym, and then we have a big dinner together. And we both do this. And it's nice because it's a productivity hack. We don't have to worry about eating. And Kevin and I have been on the phone since, I think, 10:15 or 10:25 or something like that. And I haven't eaten yet today. So I'm down there and I'm making coffee, and I'm in the kitchen, and there's one time during the day, every day, where it really does hurt. My stomach hurts and I'm so hungry, and I want nothing more than to eat a York peppermint patty, even though
I'll send one over.
Don't
Let me
like
fire
those.
you one over. Here you
go. Kevin just put it through the camera for those of you on audio only. But it's self-discipline. I want to stay fasted. I know that when I eat, I'm going to get sluggish and tired. Whenever I eat food, I tend to be cognitively lower functioning. And I want to also prove to myself, before coming up and talking to all of you about self-discipline, that I'm a disciplined person. So 2 things, and then we'll go, because I know we have to. Number 1 is this. Think about someone in your life who just is not disciplined at all. They have very little ability to delay immediate gratification. Everything is quick fixes. They love watching and binge watching shows. They don't go to the gym most likely. They rarely save money. They probably overspend. They rarely keep the promises they make to themselves, especially the really hard ones. And they're definitely not doing a bodybuilding show or anything like that. Think of someone who genuinely has low self-discipline, the character trait of self-discipline. Now ask yourself the simple question, what does their future look like? 10, 20, 30 years, if nothing changes, Is their future super bright? Are they going to have the body of their dreams and the home of their dreams and the relationship of their dreams? We all know the answer. It's no. Now, the opposite. Everyone out there right now, think of the most self-disciplined human being that you know. For me, it's Emilia. Think of that person. This person always keeps the promises they make to themselves. Maybe not always, but most of the time. And even when they don't, they take ownership and try to do better. This person is trying to get better every single day. They are delaying immediate gratification constantly. They're super hardworking. Think of the person who has the most self-discipline of anyone you've ever met. And then ask yourself a simple question. How bright is their future? See, with Emilia, it's very, very bright. 10, 20, 30 years from now. Unbelievably bright. She's going to have the body of her dreams. She's going to have the relationship of her dreams. She's going to have the businesses of her dreams and the financial success of her dreams. We're going to have the house of our dreams. It's going to be because of self-discipline. It's not because she's better than you or these people are better or worse than you. It's because they are able to do the things that other people don't want to do. And that's the heart-driven but no BS truth. I am in the exact shape that I should be in based on my own self-discipline up to this point. Yes, of course, mentors and books and knowledge and awareness matter too, but self-discipline is the main acorn. It's the main thing that is necessary. If knowledge was enough, we'd all be one Google search away from the body of our dreams. Knowledge is not enough. Self-discipline is the root. And I challenge all of you to decide in advance, like Kevin and I have. Kevin and I have decided in advance that no one will outwork us. We know people who, quite frankly, are better podcasters than us. They will not be as successful. They will not have as big of an impact. And the reason why is because they will not outwork us. And there's two of us. So decide in advance, I want to be a self-disciplined person. If you're out there and you don't identify as someone with high self-discipline, I'm telling you, please work on that.
I find that for us, and this came to me when you were speaking, Alan, the heart-driven but no BS approach that we take, the holistic approach, I think this is the reason why. Heart-driven, I love the fact that that video was heart-driven. Of, look, you don't, and I wholeheartedly agree with this, you don't suck because you struggle with discipline. I don't think that.
No,
I think we all struggle with discipline, right? And it's how often and how consistent are you with pushing through that struggle. That's the heart-driven. I love that. And the no BS part is, look, you're not going to accomplish your goals and your dreams at the highest level that you want to if you can't dial that in. And Alan and I just want to be in the middle. I don't want to tell you to work 23 hours a day and sleep 1, but I also don't want to say, look, if you just hope for it and wish for it, it'll happen. I want you to journal. I want you to manifest, but I also want you to take action, and I want you to take responsibility. And that, for us, is what holistic self-improvement is. Next Level Nation, if you struggle to be consistent, if you struggle to be disciplined, our 6th round of group coaching is opening up in a few months. I think we already have it half filled. So if that is something you want, look, a lot of us are on our own, and we feel like we're doing this journey on our own. And maybe you can't afford one-on-one coaching, or you can't travel out to our event, Next Level Live. This is wonderful for you. You will meet 9 other people. You'll be in a community. You'll have a WhatsApp that is popping with positivity every single day, and you'll have all the support you need to get to the next level of your life. We will have that. I don't know if we have a link yet, but we will put it below in the show notes. We'll make sure we get it made.
We do. It's on the landing page of the website.
Sir.
Yep. We've graduated 5 groups, or we will by this time group 6 opens. Ambitious Army was the first one. Gratitude with Attitude was the second one. Tribe of Abundance was the third one. Pursuit of Excellence was the fourth one. And the last one that we're currently graduating is Legacy by Design.
By Design.
Awesome names. Love those names, man. Super proud of that. If you want to be on a team of like-minded people, we have a new payment plan option. It's 6 months, $75 per month, which totals to $500. If you want to pay all up front, it's $441 all up front. Or if you want to pay $147 for 3 months, month to month, because it's a 3-month program, you are welcome to. Again, click the link in the show notes, check out the landing page. And we will also reach out to Kevin or myself. We can send you the Instagram handles of some people that have done group coaching so that you can get feedback from real people who have done the program. So please reach out if you are interested. Last but not least, as you know, March 26th, half day in Worcester, Mass., the very first Next Level Live. Only 50 tickets will be sold. So if you're out there, you feel alone, you feel like you're not self-disciplined enough, you feel like whenever you are self-disciplined, other people drag you back to non-self-discipline, you've got to come to this event. One thing I know is that I have one client right now who said, Alan, I'm either the coach or I'm being coached, but I've got no one in between. I said, you've got to come to Next Level Live because you're going to be in a seat and you're going to meet other people who are committed to being more self-disciplined, committed to getting to the next level. So join us at Next Level Live. We are only selling 50 tickets. We already have sold over 20. So they're almost half gone. So please, please, please get your ticket immediately. I was talking to Dr. Tarryn and she said, I don't want it to end up being my whole community. I said, no, I don't want to pump the brakes. Let's just sell this thing out. And if it's all Dr. Tarryn's people, that's totally fine. But I don't want that. I also want next level people in there. And obviously Dr. Tarryn's people will be next level as well. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But this will sell out. That's my point. It's $97. Grab a friend, grab 2 tickets, and get your tickets immediately because these are going to sell out potentially in the next couple weeks.
Also, in the show notes, everything you ever need will be in the show notes. We have a bunch of links down there for all of our stuff. Next Level Nation, tomorrow for episode number 878, it's last week's live Q&A, and this is a very, very great question. How do you know if someone really has your best interest at heart? There is so much advice that's given out from friends, family, social media. How do you know who to listen to? How do you know who to pass that advice off into the garbage? As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we do not have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Please reach out.